Division 2 for the final time this season, as we are in Brazil, as like I just said, for the final race of the season, and we've got 12 drivers already raring to go here in Brazil, which is obviously a track quite famous for last race thrillers. It's for the championship as well, and we do have 2 championships up for grabs still today. We do have the drivers' championship, which De Rouge, I think, doesn't need much to win today. I think he needs just to finish the race in the points, and he's got a championship due to Sofia not being here. And we also have the constructors, which Mercedes have got very safely at the minute. I think is there 2? I think Alfa Romeo need a 1-2, and both Mercedes need to not score points. And yeah, that will crown Alfa Romeo the champions. But very likely we see Mercedes winning their, well, technically 9th world title in a row here today in Brazil, as it's a very sunny day as we start here in Brazil. I'm already losing my marbles. It's going to be a very relaxed commentating session, as yeah, my voice is very not great, as we find out, as we see Ariel Mark, the first driver out on track in the Ferrari today, as Captain Blade's going for the Inters. Maybe unique, cool. Maybe I think he might have a qualifying ban. That may be why. So yeah, obviously everyone's come back from watching the Monaco Grand Prix, just I presume, or if not, if you've not watched it yet, it's a decent Monaco race. I think, mate, I'm glad it's hopefully the last time we go there, but nevertheless, we move on, and yeah, we can ride on board with Mark for the first lap of Brazil in today's session. As it comes down the pit straight, heading into turn 1. I do not know the names of the corners, so you will not be getting that, but we're braking just after the 50-metre board, just before the wall ends, getting into 4th gear straight away, maybe 5th gear as well for the second part, keeping it on the curves but enough so you don't exceed the track limits, as the teammate will come out there, maybe cheeky slipstream, no, in the first sector into the 16.8, a very nice lap indeed from the first sector, from the first Ferrari driver. Heading into turn 5 now, no, turn 6, then 7 and 8. This is where you need the downforce in your setup to keep the car rotating well through these corners and early on the traction, which is done very nicely on these medium tyres actually. Now 4th gear through there, very early on the gears to get the traction down, as it's a very difficult traction zone through the middle sector split. Purple on the lap, I'm guessing that's because currently the first person out on track, but comes across the line now, and for a medium lap time to start the session, it's a very good lap indeed. I'm going to say, yeah, just into the 1:07s. Ariel Mark there, as we then will see Campers come across the line now. What will he do on the soft tyres? 1:09.6, so a fair way off, but at least he's got a lap on the board, and he can work on that now for the rest of the session. Jav invalidates at 1:09.8. I don't know if he's going again. Captain Blade, yeah, okay. You do you. As we see De Rouge, who could win the championship today, I think, as long as he finishes the race in the top 12, getting points, and it's not been a good start to the session for the Alfa Romeo. Indeed, he's making a bit of a mess of the track there. As Jav is on the lap, it seems, he's losing the RS, so I'm going to assume he's on the lap in the Alfa Romeo, in the Alpine of Fernando Alonso, as De Morse does a 1:07.3, very nice lap there, as well as Charles Leclerc 16, I'm guessing, going a 10th behind him there as well. So few quick laps getting set already as Darude once again spinning off. Not the start of the session he would have wanted. Jab across the line, get a lovely slipstream there from Ariel Giron to the set of 1 minute 9.0. Very good lap there from the Alpine driver. As Ariel Passe decides to head into the pits, and so will Faro Fury as well on the mediums. Neither of them setting a lap as of yet. As we can now ride on board with the other Ferrari, Ariel Giron. You've probably seen him in Division 1 a few times, as he is a driver there in ISRL, so you probably see him in a bit as well. Probably beating me as well, let's be real. Not hard to do that though. As he comes through the corner, taking it up the gears very early, very nicely indeed, getting it slowed down as best as he can, as Ariel Passe has left the session on now. That's not good. Yeah, I'll see what's going on there, but as we come across the line now with Giron, he does seem to be going fastest of all so far. I'm going to say it's 1 minute 6.8. 7.2. Very good lap from the Ferrari driver. Puts him on pole position as it stands, as we have Darude, who has retired from the session. Which, well, I mean, it gives him a challenge to start for the race. And yeah, well, we've got a bit of emptiness now, as there's no one really setting a lap. We've still got 1, 2, 4, 5 drivers to set a lap. As I'll quickly invite Passe back to the session. Oh, I can't. Never mind. So yeah, we're just gonna have to go on as it stands and just see. And yeah, who's on a lap? Robbie is not on the lap. Fury's Campus is Faro Fury on the out lap. He's on an out lap. We got Leo setting a lap here, so a lap that could potentially put him on course to win in the Constructors' Championship today. So we'll ride on board with it now. Heading into turn 1, takes a wider line through the final, well, technical corner, but once again, not really a corner. Up into 5th very early there to get the traction down, as it's still struggling quite a bit through turn 2 actually, and then turn 3. It's flat out these days in these cars, and it's a purple sector 1. Could it, a bit, still not the greatest in terms of traction, so I'm sure it gets a little bit of a slipstream up this hill, but I still think there's time to improve in that first sector, in even this middle sector as well. The car doesn't seem to be as planted as probably he would like now, but heading into the middle part of the lap, he's up to 5th straight away there through the end of the sector, well, during the middle part of the sector, and then on the power early once again, another corner which is sometimes flat, sometimes it's a bit, you know, a bit scary in the race. See quite a few people slip up through that corner, especially if it's tricky conditions as well. And coming across the line now, he's set 2 purple sectors. He sets a purple, not a purple, apparently set a purple last sector, but I doubt that's the case considering he's ended up behind Giron on the timings. So yeah, take that as what you will, but a very good lap either way from the Mercedes driver. As I say this, I think Darude is actually champion anyway, because Sofian hasn't turned up, so I don't know why I was saying that before. I don't know if he needs to score points. He's ahead in the championship. No, he's won the championship. Anyway, as Sofian has, unfortunately for the title, not turned up, but the championship constructors battle is still on, so we'll focus on that today. As Claire currently, Charles Leclerc. As Mark does set the fastest lap of the session, doing a 1 minute 7 point flat As we see, try and find someone else on the lap. Jeff once again invalid on his lap. I'm sure he'll be going again on those soft tyres, as they are more than capable of getting 2 laps in on them. As Captain Blade, considering the lack of people outside the top 10, it may be a decent idea from him to start on these medium tyres. Seeing where he gets, however, if he can't really improve, then I'm sure he may switch to the softs at the end of the session. So try and find someone else finishing their lap, hopefully. We have Jerome, who's 2.5 tenths up on his lap time as it stands, so he'll put him around the same time as Ariel Marquez. Ferrari's dominating this session a bit like they dominated at the start of the season in real life. Whether they end the same way, who knows, as he does become the first driver to enter the 1:06s today out of a 1:06.9. Let's find someone else on the lap, but it's very difficult. We've got Passay, who's back in the session, thankfully. And it's Nazareth too. Passay's saying it's done a purple middle sector. I mean, I want to believe it. I'm not too sure if I can. However, yeah, my voice is already going, as it can tell. So if there's a lot of action in this race, I might just say, oh, sorry. Silence, as Passay does put himself in P4 in that Red Bull, which will help him, as it stands, stay ahead of or jump Passay, Farah Fury in the championships. Passay currently P7, as Jerome gave Farah a bit of a love tap there. Lucky not to get a penalty, really. As Mark then re-beats Jerome and then does go fastest in the session. So the two Ferraris kind of running away with it as it stands in Brazil so far, but I think we've all seen Brazil races before, and it's very unlikely it's going to end that way. I have to say that now. Campos comes across the line to do a 1:08.7. Decent lap from the McLaren driver that keeps him P10 and closes the gap slightly on the drivers in front. As we enter the final 5 minutes of the session. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to talk about, really. But, yeah, we're going to find someone on lap as Javas decided to retire from the session at turn 1, so we'll see how he's managed to bin it there. Oh dear. I'm not sure how he has binned it there, actually. We may need a word from Jav to how he has binned it there. I will ask the question now. As we ride on board with Captain Blade for his first soft lap of the race. First soft lap of the session. So he should be able to improve quite a bit and maybe get himself near the front of the grid. I mean, where he is currently is more than good enough due to Alfa Romeo. The Mercedes just need to score points, really. And he'll be good to go. As Captain Blade comes across the line now and sets a 1:08.7, which puts him further up the grid somewhat. As we have an update on Jav on how he crashed there. He was actually in the pit lane and he was He glanced at his phone whilst coming out the pit, and his car's been put on the middle of the track there, which it for some reason does around, I think, every track actually on the calendar. But I mean, he's still in a decent place. I mean, he gets to do the alternate strategy, which he may not have wanted to do, but it's not the end of the world around Brazil. As he says, blame the championship playoffs, which is more than a fair enough excuse in my books. As well, I'll give you a little update. Forest are 1-0 up with 2 minutes left of the game. They're in the 94th minute of yeah, I've seen this film before. I do want Forest to go up personally, to be fair. As I'll get back to the actual on-track action, as Robbie is currently on the lap as we enter the final few minutes of the session, so we'll see a lot of the drivers starting to come out the pits now to to set their hopefully best lap of the session. As Robbie has decided to invalidate his lap, and Jerome currently around a 10th up on his first lap, as Mark is, I don't know how much up on his lap, so we'll ride on board back with Jerome through the middle sector now, and he's invalid. Well, that's what you're not supposed to do that. If now he will get, Mark may get a little bit of a slipstream from Jerome here. Jerome will have enough time. Oh no, definitely not. As he will have enough time to set another lap. Mark just slightly up on his lap time, so it'll be a slight improvement, I believe, on his lap, as long as he nails this last sector, which is quite simple really. It's a straight, I mean, yeah, and comes across the line. Yeah, slight improvement there, still in the 1 minute 7s. Jerome now has the benchmark to beat, as he decides he's not going to set a lap. Okay, as Charles Leclerc will now set his lap. He's currently around the 10th up on his lap through the first sector, so that will put him near Jerome so far. If he can keep that up for the rest of the lap, it will put him, if he gets a 10th every sector, it's going to be right around Mark here for pole position. He's actually lost time in the middle sector as we get a bit of a lag spike there, as he comes across the line now. What will the Alfa Romeo do as Jerome retires from the session, as he decides not to improve? Well, not decides, he doesn't improve. As I will say now, Nottingham Forest are promoted to the Premier League. Congratulations to them. As my voice is going once again, I know. As De Boers now started the session off well, and he hasn't really improved on his lap since. So going through the middle sector now, we'll switch back to Passo, who's a 10th up on his lap. So that will put him around the likes of Leo and Mark and, well, not Mark, Leo and Jerome. If he can keep it up through the final sector now, what does he do? Goes P3 in the Red Bull, and a relentless 1-2-3 here in Brazil as it stands. Will D Mods have something to say about that? Yes, he will, and no, he won't. He goes 8,000 slower than Passe and ends up in P4. With Leo helping Captain Blade across the line there with a bit of slipstream as he goes P7 with his lap. Claire managing not to improve. As Farafuri will be the last one. Oh no, Campus is right behind him here. As Ariel Mark improves once again, setting a very nice lap time indeed. As Farafuri goes P5 is the lap time. A very dominant display by Relentless in Division 2 here with a 1-2-3-5. I mean, As yeah, that is the end of the session. So Ariel Mark takes pole position out of the two Ferrari drivers, a bit like Charles Leclerc in P2, and Giron will take P2, Passé in P3, Demorts P4, Farashuri in 5th, Leo in 6th, Clary, like I've just been told in the comments how to pronounce it, thank you very much Luke for that, Clary in P7, Captain Blade P8, It's Nazareth 9th, Robbie 10th, Campers 11th, Jav and CPI Darude round off the rest of the grid. As we now wait to get underway here. As he also says, shout out to Devil. I'm not sure who that is, but shout out to him anyway. So yeah. We wait. As it looks once again a very sunny Brazil here, so the chances of rain very unlikely by the looks of the clouds. I mean, it would be nice to have some rain maybe, I'm not sure. However, doesn't seem that way, and yeah, we now wait to see what the 3 drivers outside the grid top 10 will pick for their strategy. The rest will have to start on the softs, and you know, they get to change their fuel a bit, don't they? You know, as you do. And yeah, we then get underway for the formation lap, and then 36 laps will follow of hopefully quite a lot of action, and maybe crashes, safety cars, probably a lot, knowing if it's anything to go for this season. Crashes, action, drama, a lot. Drive to Survive, would love Division 2 in ISRL, and just somehow make it more dramatic than it even as it has been already. So it's Nazareth in P9 on the mediums. I didn't notice that in qualifying, but a very good lap by himself. Outside the top 10, everyone has decided to go soft, apart from the champion of Division 2, Darude, doing a bit, I'm guessing. I'm not going to say he's doing the last to first, because he might not be, but if he is doing one, he's starting on the mediums. And yeah, you'll see how it goes. Everyone else hoping for an early safety car maybe, or just want to use the soft tyres. It's the Ultrat's not. It's not the best around. I don't know, it's useful around here. I don't know if it's the best or not. As everyone's going through this formation lap quite quickly. As yeah, everyone that now said we're going quickly, so everyone decided to slow down to about 2 miles an hour to do the formation lap, which I just love to see really. As yeah, we now wait to get underway here in Brazil for the finale. We will then be underway and we can get going. I'm really running out of stuff to say, you can tell already. As the 5 red lights are up on the screen now, and away we go here in Brazil. It does seem to me that Giron has got a slightly better start going into turn 1. There will be side by side the Ferrari drivers, and Giron goes way too deep there. We'll have to go off the track and come back on. Comes back on right next to the Morse here. He's got a good chance here to get into P2. Ruin the Ferraris 1-2 straight away here. Can the Morse get down the inside? Bit of contact there between the 2 Ferraris. Giron using the Max Verstappen line into turn 4 there, and he's lost a bunch of positions there. Leo, Passé, Farrell all ahead of the Ferrari driver, and now Blade as well. As Farrell's actually round there, damage on the front wing for Leo as well. I'm not too sure what is happening, really. As everyone's got bunched up behind the Mercedes driver, it does seem like. As Farrell, with a great start, ends up being quite unfortunate really, as to spin there, and he's right at the back of the grid with a long 36 laps ahead of him, that's for sure. As the end of lap 1 is upon us, Leo, Jerome and a few others all in the pit. Nazareth well, actually starting on those mediums. It's been unfortunate for him, he's got picked up wing damage there, as we now see Robbie trying to go, I don't know if he's going around the outside of Darouge or Darouge has overtaken him, but either way, Darouge is in P6 now on the medium tyres. A very good start from him from last on the grid indeed, as he will now try and work his way up to his teammates and see what they can do to help each other try and win this tight constructors. I guess they've got Leo actually in on 1 point at the minute, so Captain Blade obviously in P4 doing well for himself, but still not out of the question just yet, as we enter the second lap. Mark not being able to drop Demort as he would have liked, both on pretty much full ERS. Passe also in this train now as well, but having to use a lot more ERS than the front two runners, which may come as a quite costly for him later in the race. Clary in P5, Darouge in P6, and then Robbie, Campers, Jav and two Alpines in 9th and 10th. Farrell will be trying to make up lost ground in that Alpine for the next few laps, it would seem. So then we have the three drivers who had to pit because of damage at the back of the train, trying to catch, hoping for a safety car. Mark seems to have made a mistake going into, I don't know if he made a mistake or the DRS is just that effective, but Demort is all over the back of him there, nearly thought about going around the outside, but did think better of it. I think probably the right thing to do as well. As now, well, yeah, we shall see. Going on to this main straight, surely Mark will be under quite a lot of threat here in the Ferrari. Passe maybe looking at this opportunity, maybe just opportunity to stay VRS here. He's got within 6/10 of the lead. He doesn't have to worry about ERS here at the minute. I mean, you could say if an opportunity comes up, he's in the best position around to take it, as Clary kind of dropping off the back of this train a bit as Captain Blade. Also now on the back of Passe as well, as we head through Sector 1 for the 4th time today. As Jav seems to make the move done on Campus. The Alpine driver slowly moving up, like Alonso's going very slowly in a Monaco race today. Copying his idol, I guess. Joking. Alonso, very good driver, just decided to drive very slowly around Monaco for 30 today. But Jav, good move from him, and into P8 he goes, now chasing after Robbie, which has done quite well actually, gained a few tenths this lap already. Next up after Robbie will be Darouge, who's not really dropped Robbie at the rate you kind of expect him to have so far this season, as Jerome in the pits once again for those medium tyres. Those softs are really not working, and he's a lap down already. Bit of a disaster for the Ferrari driver, which kind of helps out Mercedes in a way. Jerome kind of taking up that last spot quite comfortably, meaning unless there's retirees, everyone else will get points here today. Leo and Nazareth here. Nazareth on the mediums once again, so he will have to stop once more this race, which I'm sure is expected anyway of both these drivers. I don't see the mediums lasting that long. As Leo, lovely little bow here, gets repassed the driver. As is Jerome out of the session, or is he? Oh, he's just a lap down. No, never mind, it's just a lap down. As now Ariel Mark will retake the lead of the race. Can Passe try and sneak past as well? He has done. Very cheeky, optimistic move from the Red Bull driver, who still hasn't lent me his yacht in Monaco yet. Very disappointed by that. So now Captain Blade all over the back of him. Sorry about that. Captain Blade trying to go around down the inside. We've seen this before, Mercedes and Red Bull battling in Brazil. As Passe are going for a position on Demorge there, which is sort of like a good idea. It's ended up costing him a podium actually. Very opportunistic from Captain Blade. Sees himself in P3 now. Maybe will he be able to do what Passe did and get past Ariel Mark on this following straight if they're close enough? I mean, he will have double slipstream and dosage of ERS in comparison to Mark, who will have less ERS, less DRS a lot, but Demorge now comes up, storming up to the back of the Ferrari driver, will stick behind. Maybe probably the right thing to do, really. I mean, we'll get the double dosage of DRS here down the straight, and he's going to go Mark descending the inside line very wisely there, cuts the corner off very well indeed, and keeps the position well. As this will be helping Derouge out. He's only 3 seconds off this lead train here. As Clary picks up the first penalty of the race. Not good for Alfa Romeo's 1-2 hopes, especially with Captain Blade being in P3 as well. I mean, the constructors are still very much so in the way of Mercedes, as the two Alpines. Another voice break, yeah. The two Alpines here closing in on Robbie in P7, who has fell off the back of Derouge last few laps, as Jerome gets his first penalty of the race. An absolutely disastrous race so far for him, unfortunately. Going into turn 3 and 4 once again. Will Demorge think of getting past this time, or will he stick behind quite nicely? No, he's going to stick behind quite nicely. As the procession continues with Clary quite all over the back of that Red Bull driver. He definitely seems the closest of any driver in this top 5 to make a move, really, on anyone. Saying that they're all very close to the back of each other. We do tend to get this quite a lot in Brazil. We get these trains starting to form because of how easy it is to keep DRS, how powerful DRS is here, and just how easy it is to stay with each other through the middle sector. As once again, Demorge now within 3/10 of the Ferrari driver, should absolutely cruise past here. Going into turn 1. Don't think Mark's going to be able to pick up a fight even if he wanted to. Captain Blade thinking of a move going into turn 1 and turn 2 here. Passe under threat from Clary as well. However, Passe gets a very good run on Captain Blade there. He will look for the inside line, but will not be able to take advantage of it, as Mark there getting past with that DRS detection line being at the end of turn 2, so meaning Demorge making the move in turn 1 was a bit useless for him, really. As he picks up, he also another driver to pick up the first penalty of the race, is Clary down the inside of Passe here. He will have the outside line for the next corner. Will Passe be able to descend it quite well as Clary gets on the grass? I think puts an end to that move just for now, but it's certainly on the back of Passe, got better pace than Passe, it seems to, at this stage anyway. Heading to lap 10 now. The pit window is most certainly open, I believe. Will anyone think about an early stop, as Clary, Mark, once again, him and Demorge battling. Captain Blade needs to try and figure something out here. Can't let these two battle. Oh, as Ariel Mark has crashed. And just like that, this race has been turned on its head. Captain Blade goes into the lead, Passe into P2, Demort has got very big damage, and CPI de Rouge, the championship winner, it goes down the inside and into P4, and is now suddenly on the back of this train on the medium tyres. And just like that, the championship may have just took a massive swing, especially constructors wise. That's really... But it really caught me off guard, that. Sorry for sounding so lethargic. As Jerome has gone absolutely flying there, and that, I think, is a retiree for the Ferrari driver, and it could be a safety car as well. As Captain Blade pits, so does Ariel Mark, who he's actually ended up catching onto the back of the mode somehow after the chaos that went on this lap, as Leo goes. I think he's got floor damage, you know. His car should not be acting like that anyway. I mean, as he, well, Ariel Passe now leads this race, Clary in second, Rob de Rouge in third, and suddenly Alfa Romeo in a brilliant position here to potentially take the constructors today. Leo seemingly having floor damage. He will move up quite a few positions once the pit stops occur, but we'll have to stop again, however, so it will put him in P12, I think. Net P12 anyway, and yeah, if he's got floor damage as well, that could be very costly for him throughout the race, as Clary makes the move on Passe, as Robbie goes into the pits, leaving Jav with a batch of DRS to help defend against his teammate Farah Fury, who's caught up very nicely so far. Jav going wide into the first corner as well, and very wide into the second corner. Should be a very simple move, especially considering their teammates here. Farah will get alongside very easily and will be passed before the corner, luckily for the Alpine board, so they don't have a team radio message that Felipe Alonso is faster than you. So yeah, we all remember that radio message, don't we? I mean, if you didn't watch F1 back then you wouldn't, but very, very famous message amongst F1 fans. So now, I'm sure we're going to see one of the front two drivers in the pit, if not both, this next lap. Neither of them actually decided to come in. De Rouge here, currently in a very good position. He's kind of got to bide his time at this stage of the race. These mediums will be quicker than the softs now, but he's just got to just sit there, and he knows the race will come to him. As it stands, so no safety car, as Captain Blade does absolutely stunning lap there. He will definitely have that 1 second gap on the other drivers when they come into the pits, but these two will both have much fresher tyres towards the end of the race, as Clary getting a bit dodgy with the connection, which not good, very not good. As Jav has managed to get past who is that there? It's Leo out at the back for the Mercedes driver. He knows he's got to carry on in a way for the constructor battles at least, but Captain Blade will be, I don't think he will be worried. He'd just be, doesn't get nervous, but starts to shake a little, you know what I mean. There, as it's been a very bad and unfortunate day for Leo. Convinced he's got floor damage, but he may have a bit more than floor damage now as well. However, we see Jav into the pits, the first one out, the two Alpine drivers, and once again neither of the front two drivers coming into the pits, maybe suggesting Captain Blades called the gun a bit too early there. He's obviously going to come out with a much bigger gap in comparison and will be well out of the DRS train, but fresh medium's very powerful around here. Where's Jav going to come out in the pits? Hopefully he won't be watching the Forest game anymore, so he shouldn't crash in the pits again, but comes out in P9 on a fresh set of mediums. Demort and Nazareth, he'll gain on position. I think he'll have the pace on these. He'll have the pace on Demort, I presume, on being on faster tyres. Picks up a penalty out the pits as well. There we'll have Ariel Mark, who obviously was leading the race. Trying to catch him as well. But after that, he's in a very good position here as Ariel Passe, the first one to bite the dust out of the two front runners, and that could be crucial for Alfa Romeo's race. As now there will be 1-2 on track, however, I do believe Passe will get the undercut on him. Don't know why I'm speaking on this. As we see Leo off at the back once again. You would consider retiring, wouldn't you? If I was him, to be honest. I don't promote retiring whilst the race is still on, but he's got damage to the car. But he's going to carry on, fair play to him. Points are on offer, so gotta respect it. As will Claire go into the pits this lap, or will he use the Rouge? It's a bit of a way to like... No, he's going to go into the pits. Well, I was going to say he could follow him around for a few laps. He's got to make sure he brakes on smart on the boards. He does that very well. And now, 3-second gap from Captain Blade to Passe. Where will Clary come out in comparison, as the yellow flag in sector 3. Demort is round after having such a brilliant start to the race. Really has fell apart from these last few laps. Farrow Fury out on the hard tyres after pitting a lap after Jav. Okay. Interesting strategies going down at Alpine today. Putting Ocon on the worst strategy as usual. As Jav picks up another penalty there. Quick look, he's on 12 seconds now. He's going to be close to disqualification soon if it goes on with this race, so may need to take it easy these next few laps. Nazareth all over the back of Robbie here. Won't be looking for a move through this section, but I'm sure if an opportunity does appear, he will be more than happy to take that. As Claire comes out 2 seconds back on Passe, and that's massive for this race. As Passe, I mean, he has already gained a second around, almost a second on Captain Blade. However, these two drivers don't have any difference really in tyres. Passe saying a storming lap there. Where do we now have Nazareth getting past the Red Bull driver, squeeze him all the way. Oh Jesus, that's another voice crack. Don't like that one bit. Squeezing him all the way to the inside there. Robbie will get the run on him going into turn 4. He will get past him as well. Maybe use the Red Bull line into there. I don't know. But gets past him. Yeah, I'm sure two sister teams not holding anything back as we go into the halfway stage of this race. As yeah, I'm going to need a drinks break. Hang on. Whilst there's nothing happening, we can have a little drinks break. I'll say that as Mark goes down the inside of Jav. Very bold move there from the Ferrari driver. We'll get the inside line. And, I mean, your corner cut quite a bit there. Who will get the DRS? Jav will get the DRS, but Farrell Fury is really in the best position here. As Alpine working wonders here. Will allow Farrell past Mark. A bit of a relentless battle here. As there's a yellow flag in sector 1, it is Not Leo. It's Captain Blade. Mercedes here in real trouble. Once again, as now Leo in P12. I think it's still enough points-wise. As Passe's now in the wall as well, and that's the front wing gone. Passe after being handed the race lead there by Captain Blade, now gone and lost it in a dramatic fashion there. And we'll have to stop again now. And as I say, I'm going to need a drink break because everything's calming down. The complete opposite happens as Nazareth has now binned it as well. Everything happening here. It's retired from the session as well, actually. Will that be any sort of safety car? No. Passe into the pits. Nazareth leaves the session. That's another point for Mercedes, and that pretty much gives the title to Mercedes, as eventually Leo will cross into P11. There he goes, and that will be the title for Mercedes, even though as it stands Alfa Romeo are in a 1-2 position. They've done all they can today, but I doubt it will be enough, especially with Captain Blade still in P3 as it stands. As there's another yellow flag here. I think Jav's made a mistake, it looks like, as Mark now will be looking to get past Farrell Fury, as those hard tyres will be still quite, I mean, not great. They're not going to be great, are they, at this stage, especially in comparison to 7-lap mediums? I don't know. Demord's now on the back of Jav. After having a chance at the win, he's going to be fighting all he can to get back through the field, just close to the top 3 as he can. Going down the straight. Jav's low on ERS by the red flashing light. Demord's making the move into turn 1. We saw this as a bit of a pattern what he did against Ariel Mark. He goes for the move into turn 1, which not many drivers would have, and the other driver gets DRS, which maybe that's the way to do it. That's, yeah. Now we can take a break and drink some water because nothing once again is happening. I think I'll get up some Brazilian facts, you know. Because Brazil GP facts are great when you're in time of no overtaking. As actually I say that, Mark cruising up to the back of Fury with DRS. I mean, Jesus, those voice cracks were awful. But yeah, now with DRS, and I mean, not the DRS advantage that you'd want. Farrell defending perfectly there, really. Now going up this hill on the part of the old track, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I did that one on purpose, don't worry. But yeah, my voice has properly had it. As Jav picks up another penalty, that's unfortunate for him, sums up his day today. As, yeah. Yellow flag in sector 2, and I think that is Ariel Jav once again, as it's a blue dot, I'm going to guess. It's Jav. I may be wrong in that, but the other blue dot is Ariel Farfuri, and we're watching him right now, so we're watching him getting overtaken by Mark. Or not, as even though DRS was allowed to be used, Mark decided against it. I mean, you understand that pretty normal thing, right? As now he has it fully open. Going into turn 1. Will he be able to turn 4 once again? Will he be able to make a move? No, he cannot. And he's tried this the last few laps, and Farrell's had him every time. So maybe try something different. I don't know. Maybe go for it in turn 1 instead of shutting the DRS off. Just saying, maybe. As Farrell certainly does seem to have the edge over Mark as it stands on those hard tyres. They will be getting better every lap as well, these hard tyres. 4 laps new as Mark. Wow, Mark going drifting into the end of sector 2 there. That'll certainly relieve Farrell for at least a lap, I'd presume. As we now have Campers, Jav and Passe in a little battle, so we'll ride on board with this for now, and yeah, see if anything happens. Lovely camera angle there, tell you what, that was sexy. Let's go on the straight. We could see a double overtake here. We've seen it before with Passe. Jav already on the back of Campers before the DRS is even active. Passe deciding to hang back and judge what's best to do. He will have a brilliant run on the McLaren driver into turn 4 here. As he tries to use a bit of ERS, it doesn't seem to have that effect that he would have wanted. As Campers shoves Jav wide. Oh, wow. Yeah. Passe, good idea backing out of that. As again, it's very fighty between the McLaren and the Alpine. Campers making the cutback. A very nice move, in fact, from Campers there and into P8 once again. He does go. As De Rouge is actually in the pits. Will he come out at... Oh, Jesus. Yeah, my voice has had it. Will he come? He's going to come out pretty much side by side with Mercedes driver. So for now, that sees Captain Blade, into P2. How long that will last, however, I'm not too sure. As those softs are going to be absolutely rapido. As Farrell Fury here has a very good chance of P4, maybe even a podium here. The pace he's been shown on those hards has been very good. Captain Blade, ever since that's been, he's maybe taking a caution, make sure he wants to get the maximum, the Constructors' Championship for Mercedes today. With Leo off at the back once again, unfortunately for him. I do have the hiccups now as well. This is appalling from my arms. I do apologise, but as we now enter this lap, we've now got Passe behind Jav and Campers behind the both of them. Not sure how that works, as De Rouge going into turn 1 has got the move well and truly sorted, as Leo actually has retired from the session because that caused a safety car. Come on, you know you want to. Safety car, yay. Suey. And now we'll have everyone able to pit stop onto the soft tyres, and it will make a very, very interesting last 10 laps of the race, as Captain Blaine now has a lot of pressure on his on himself. With Leo out of the session, I'm pretty sure that means it's still a title to Alfa Romeo as it stands. However, if Captain Blade does crash out of the race completely, we will see Alfa Romeo lift the drivers and constructors today. And well, what a feat that would be, with the gap they had going into this race. I mean, he definitely wouldn't have expected it. There's Ariel Mark, I'm guessing we're coming into the pits. Farrell into the pits, Robbie into the pits. Every single person on the grid will be into deep pits. Which means we will have a 10 lap sprint, and we get to do Brazil Facts, the daily episode. I mean, it's around 13. I get confused between round 13 and 12 and 14. As obviously Division 1 we've got France next week, which Division 2 does not. So anyway, Michael Schumacher is the most successful driver here in Brazil, having won 4 times. Ferrari are also the most successful team at the track, winning 9 times in total. They could make a 10 today. Ariel Mark back in P4. You never know. I mean, the Italian team leading 1-2 anyway. 5 Brazilian drivers have won on home soil since it became part of the championship. Emerson Fittipaldi, PK, Senna and Felipe Massa took 2 wins apiece, whilst Carlos Pace won the single time. Max Verstappen in 2019 became the first Honda-powered car to win at Interlagos since Senna did it in 1991. Obviously, there's been a different. There were before. I don't know which year it was changed. It's a very old layout. However, this is the new layout of Interlagos. I mean, I've seen the old one before. I think I've seen people drive it on not Interlagos, Assetto Corsa once before as well, and it does look very good, to be fair. But obviously they changed it and it created this track. I mean, it's a very nice track. It's a bit DRS trainee. Last year we saw Lewis Hamilton go from 20th to 5th to 10th to 1st. Obviously with that mega battle we saw between himself and the drivers' champion from that year, Max Verstappen. Unfortunately, Michael Massey helped him. That will annoy anyone who supports Max Verstappen, which is basically everyone these days. So yeah, yeah. Obviously we had that whole discussion, was it a penalty, was it not a penalty? It definitely was a penalty. Then we had Jeddah after. Did we have Jeddah after? Oh, did we have Jeddah before or after Brazil? We had Qatar, which was Lewis winning. We had like 4 or 5 races where Lewis won on the bounce. And then we went to Abu Dhabi, obviously on equal points, which was very unlikely. I mean, chance of it being scripted as well, I mean, could never happen. As the safety car is in this lap, so stops me talking about scripting in sports. Premier League. And yeah, we can get back underway here today with 10 laps left. 9 laps actually, sorry. And when will Daruj decide to absolutely floor the pedal and go? I'm going to have a very nice angle here of the restart. As Daruj, still warming his tyres up, has got underway. Gets underway very nicely there as everyone flows into turn 1 very nicely. No overtakes being done. Very calm restart for once. I'm used to a lot worse, to be fair. And yeah, Claire here obviously got quite a few that fresher. Oh Jesus, more voice crack FC. And he's got the pace completely over the Daruj here. Maybe for the title it may be better these two calm it down a bit and just try and see this over the line. Captain Blade all getting hounded by the Ferrari of Ariel Mark. Farrell Fury in P5. Mark here, will he try and make a move straight away here? He's gonna have to, I think he's going to go for it. Captain Blade not using his ERS. Mark forced to the outside line. He will take it with ease and get past anyway, causing a major problem for the 2 drivers in front. As we've seen already this race, Mark in qualifying as well had the most pace out of anyone in the field, so yeah, will be interesting to see where he is able to get to. As Demor's now looking for the inside line on Robbie. Will he be able to get it? He has to take a lot of curb to do so, but he does indeed get that position and into P6. So these drivers who we saw at the front of the front of the grid at the start of the race, slowly, they've had mistakes here and there. They're slowly working their way back up. And I think we will get a 5 or 6 way man fight for the win here once again in Brazil. I mean, the whole grid is still very close together. As Ariel Mark already passed Claire. Claire seeming to have made a mistake. It could be very costly for him here. Captain Blade go round the outside into turn 1. Can he get the move done? He brakes a lot later than Claire. And cuts across him very well. He had every right to do so. Very nice move from Captain Blade into P3 there. We'll get a dosage of ERS as well. And Ariel Mark working his way through the field very nicely indeed. And into P2 he goes. As I will say this now, I'm going to do an interview with Daruge as champion, and that is it today, unfortunately. As I've saw other leagues that had the same title fight going on do the same. It's only fair. Obviously, winning the championship is quite a big feat. He's leading the race anyway. So, but very championship winning champions drive today from Daruge so far, and yeah. As we head into the final 5 laps of this race, he leads the way from last on the grid. But no matter where he finishes, unless he's not here, unless he doesn't want to join the party, and then we'll do second and third, or first, second, whatnot as well. But yeah, just want to make that clear. If you were confused, if you would be confused to see why only one person gets interviewed today. Plus my voice is dead if it gets to the interview stage. I may not have a voice. As Passe v Farrell Fury, the battle we all wanted to see for the 8th. What position is it in the standings? As it's a very important one. Hang on. So 10th and 11th in the title standings. Passe currently 1 point ahead of the Alpine driver heading into today's race, so he will be wanting to make that move done. Can he get it done though? Can he get it done? As Farrell will get DRS off of Demort in front of him, and he will also make up the positions on Demort as well as it stands off, believe. Passe getting the move done anyway on Farrell Fury. Wow, even both of them having DRS, and that pretty much will give Passe P10 in the championship as it stands. As Ariel Mark does get through on Daruge. And will we now see Captain Blade with a captain's worthy performance here? Try and keep up with Mark, get past Daruge as quickly as he can. I think Mark picks up a penalty, so the race for the win very well and truly back on here. Mark will have to do an absolute Mercedes engine, obviously cheating, DRS illegal performance here in these last few laps to get the 3 seconds on Daruge. All Daruge has to do now is stick in the DRS, and he should have the win here today. Captain Blade 3/10 behind though, so he may be close going into the second DRS straight to get the move done. He is going to close up slightly now. All 3 of them actually close up to each other quite a lot here, and Clary as well. Coming down this straight, can anyone do anything? Daruge's thinking better of it and just sticking behind him, which is the right thing to do really. He's on those more worn tyres. He's gonna just take it easy and just, you know, chillax. In that P2, as long as he stays at DRS, I mean, Captain Blade will be all over him. He will want that race win for Mercedes, and especially against the 2 Alfa Romeos. As Daruge once again will get DRS going onto this main straight, so he will be good to go to stay ahead of Captain Blade for now. As they once again all close up to the back of the Ferrari driver. It must be hell for Mark, thinking he could possibly... He gets the gap in the middle sector, and it's just not enough. As an Alfa Romeo off in the background, and that's Clary, and that pretty much wins the title for Mercedes here today. So, unless something amazing happens in these last 3 laps, there's no way now, really. Unfortunately for Alfa Romeo, that they will win the title, both titles today. They have given it all their all, though. Yeah. Everyone gets to chill out, really, and it's a very peaceful way to end the season. One safety car, you know. Life is brilliant. I'll do all the... Make sure you tune into the Division 1 later stuff now as well. As Captain Blade going to go for the move on Darucci here. He obviously wants that race win. He absolutely sends it on the Alfa Romeo driver and gets it stopped in time. Impressive to say the least. Darucci now will have the better run on him. However, going into this corner, can he get the move done? He's going to try down the inside. Will he be able to keep it? He doesn't want to... Does keep the position just about. As Ariel Mark has spinned it there. Darucci is going to go down the inside. So more drama once again as Darucci now picks up a penalty once as well. So somehow out of all of that, I mean, how that has happened I do not know. Captain Blade now without a penalty. He's all he's got to do is keep it clean. He will be the winner of today's race. Demort in P3, Darucci in P2. Ariel Mark retiring from the session there. Passe P4 actually will get onto the podium today. I think he may get on it anyway, as Darucci will want to take this race win at least now on track. He's going to come flying past the Alfa Romeo, the Mercedes driver. As Captain Blade has just tried to take him out completely. That is very unsportsmanlike, and I don't know what the others will think of that, but I've just seen that live. He's driven straight on without trying to brake and killed Darucci, which I actually hope Mercedes kind of lose the title because of that, in my honest opinion. But yeah, Darucci will now win this race, I think, as the Morse has 6 seconds of penalties, and I think that means Ariel Fiori from, I think it's his first podium in ISRL Division 2. Not too sure, but however, Darucci, once again, the class of the field. He's gone from last to first. He's survived hell, fire, through the safety car, a champion's winning drive from the man himself. He does not win the race because he celebrated too early, and Ariel Passe has gone on to win here in Brazil. CPI Darucci will be in P2, Farrell Fury in P3, and well, yeah, well, that sums up a very entertaining season here in ISRL, and we'll now add Darucci to the party to have his thoughts on the season as a whole. I'm sure he's had a very interesting one, and if he doesn't join, well, we'll add Farrell and Passe just after, see if they want to join. But yes, I'll run through the race grid quickly here. Passe comes out on top after a bit of a weird way to end the season with Darucci racing. Darucci in P2, Farrell Fury in P3, Robbie from 10th on the grid in P4, great drive from him. Demort in P5, Clary in P6, Campers P7, Jav Javier in P8, the Welsh, I'm not sure why he's got a Welsh flag, it's definitely not Welsh. Captain Blade in P9. First of the retirees, Mark in 10th, Leo in 11th, Nazareth in 12th, and Jerome in 13th. Let's see if Darude joins the party now. If not, we'll add Passe and Farrell Fury in. And yeah, I'll get ready to add the others in as well. I'm sure they'll want to have a good old chat. So, quickly run through, we got ISRL Division 1 in 40 minutes time. Who am I looking for? Where's Passe? Why can't I find Passe on here? Well, that's weird. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's the case. It doesn't seem to be that Darude is joining. I'll give him another minute. And if not, that is the end of the season. I have been your commentator. Oh, here he is, actually. Hello, Darude. First of all, how was that race for you? I mean, it seemed quite a chaotic one for you.
Don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. Everyone just took each other out. Like lots of people. Yeah, but still, last a second.
Well, you would have been first. I mean,
if I didn't celebrate straight, yeah.
Yeah. That was quite strange to see, really. But yeah. And thoughts on the season as a whole, as you are now the champion of Division 2.
Yep, world champion. No, it's good. Yeah, it's just been fun, but it's been a bit boring towards the second half of the season because it was actually quite tense between me and Lorenzo, and then it just didn't show up like half the time. So at one point, like we're racing with 10 people on the grid, and it's like,
Yeah, I understand what you mean in a way. You obviously had that battle with Lorenzo for the first half of the season. He constantly kept switching between him and yourself, and then as the season went on, you did have Sofian challenging you near the end, but it kind of was always in the bag for you, weren't it, really?
Yeah, let's have DNF like 4 times in a row, but yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean...
Well, I nearly DNF today when Captain Nick thought he was in.
Captain Blade finished the lap early, but yeah. And yeah, and obviously end of the season now. Thoughts on next season? Obviously, you may end up in Division 1.
Who knows? I'd like to be fair. Let's go to Div 1. Just I can't wait for the new game anyway.
Yeah,
it's great.
Definitely. And thank you for joining me, and congrats on the title.
Thank you for commentating this season.
No worries. And yeah, that will be the end for me today. Everyone, tune in 40 minutes time to see me crash in Brazil once again in Division 1. And I'm sure Ariel, Mark and the others are actually driving in Division 1 as well. We'll do the same thing. So yeah, that's all from me. See you all next season.
See you.
Bye.